Welcome back. You here with Goldberg. Today we'll be talking about a book, in this case Female Nature 101, A Primer for Men by Russell Nash. And he's something of a Renaissance guy. So went to medical school, worked in that field for a bit, switched gears to engineering. He's traveled the world and currently raises horses as well as drives some fancy vehicles. So intriguing to say the least. He was kind enough to send me a PDF copy of his newest work. And it's really a welcome break because a lot of the content that comes out of the manosphere is the overly judgy, preachy, ideological red pill or, some such. In this case, he's just providing you with slices of life. This is his experience with women, that of his associates and friends, and you can make your own decision, as every guy should. In his case, it's being MGTOW to a certain degree, but perhaps at times, having a girlfriend on a casual basis, just hooking up, he's good with that. So I do want to thank him for sending the copy my way. I'm going to highlight the aspects that really stood out. There will also be a link provided, and you're welcome, encouraged, if you so choose, to pick up a copy, because I think you will benefit from it. So early on, he mentions the permeating misandry in our entertainment industry, directed, of course, towards men. We know for a long time, at least the 1980s, 1990s, you had the trope of the 90-pound ninja chick that can beat up these bodybuilder dudes with ease. And that's one thing. But we also bear witness to regular suburban guys being made the butt of jokes when they're subjected to verbal or physical abuse by their significant others. This is being normalized for various reasons. So you've got Everybody Loves Raymond and, of course, King of Queens. I can recall one episode where I think Kevin James wanted to go with his bros to maybe a casino, and he was hiding it from the Scientology chick. She finds out, she said, "Well, why aren't you telling me the truth?" He's like, "'Cause you're going to twist my nipples." And you see how far I've fallen, that I'm actually making light of it myself. But if you want to pretend you live in an equalitarian society, it shouldn't be that way, right? Just like I don't believe I would make a show celebrating violence towards women, it shouldn't be okay to do it directed at men. Oh yeah, it's hilarious. Because obviously if you had a joke about a woman being punched, like Family Guy did that, it wasn't even on screen, and there was all the outrage. Oh, you're celebrating domestic violence. Come on, let's be adults for a second here. Is there another interesting story about the spoiled Southern cheerleader who pretty much tries to ruin the lives of multiple men and gets away with it because money, privilege? How many times have we seen that come down the pipeline before? It is amazing. If you've got a pretty face, if you, based upon cultural assumptions, folks say you could never do that, you're just innocent. A lot of stuff that you can just kind of be, brush it off your shoulders. Think of Casey Anthony. It's really disgusting. Think of a lot of these teachers that prey on younger boys. But, he was just enjoying it. It's not a big deal. I mean, we live in a pretty sick world, let's be real. And then there was this really interesting tidbit where he's interacting with an older woman, and she just lays down the truth about life, which I do want to bring up one of the aspects of what she discussed, because it was pretty funny, this quote where she's talking about what women want. And he says, "You'll also meet the girls who want a bloke that will slap them silly, steal their money, and F them in the ass until they shit blood, just so they can complain about it. Nothing else matters to us." I was like, holy crap, that's pretty hardcore. So like I said, this is not a book for the faint of heart. I mean, it is that slice of life, so hey, this is the experience of a person. You can take it or leave it. You can say, no, that's an exaggeration, I still want to get married. Or you can, well, hold on, maybe I need to be really second-guessing myself here. And he also brings up an associate of his who just completely destroys the whole trad cell argument about Islam restoring the West. And I greatly appreciate that, because there's so many dudes who are just clueless. They don't bother talking to Muslim people, researching the Middle East. In fact, it was interesting, in the mid-2000s, most Muslims were going around like, oh, Islam has a tradition of liberalism and tolerance. And then once things switched around and guys were complaining about feminism and migration in the West, Then a lot of the Muslims started shilling for, oh, at least Muslims keep women in line. That is a big misconception. Outside of like tribal regions, more remote areas, you talk about Saudi Arabia, a lot of those women, I mean, they get away with murder, even compared to Western women. They have affairs with men and women. They are, basically milking their husbands for money. Don't believe all the hype. At least try to live in that country or learn enough about it before you make these assumptions, because they may not exactly play out the way you think. I mean, look at all the prominent Muslim women in our politics. Do they strike you as submissive at all? Not necessarily. I have yet to meet in the United States a submissive Muslim woman. I don't know how many of them actually exist. But like I said, this is a very interesting book. I do recommend checking it out. If you are more on the aspirational white pill, blue pill side of things, nothing wrong with that inherently. It will come as a bit of a shock. Some of these stories, you might be inclined to say, oh, that's not true, that's been made up. And it's your right to have that opinion, but always realize, and especially I should note, the different people he brings up are from varying generations. Some are young, some are old. So it's not just, oh, this is the modern age. In certain cases, you've got much older gentlemen who are talking about, how things have shifted as time passes. So, like I said, very interesting text, and I recommend checking it out.